Welcome back to my channel. You guys requested that I share more about my favorite teacher books, and today I'm going to share about these 4 incredible books and authors and why they inspired me and how you can bring these ideas into your classroom. The first author I want to share about is Kim Bearden, co-founder of the Ron Clark Academy and Disney Teacher of the Year. I had the opportunity to go to the Ron Clark Academy last September, and I had such an incredible experience. She has Crash Course, which is an amazing book. It shares a lot about her teacher journey and lessons that she's learned. And when I went to the Ron Clark Academy, her newest book, Talk to Me, she discussed and she was telling us all about lessons that she's learned in communication, and she's sharing in this book 6 tips for effective communication. And I find this book to be so important and so relevant to anyone, but especially teachers, because what we do for a living is communicate. We communicate as we're teaching, as we interact with students, as we interact with parents, faculty members, our administrators. And I think that this is one of the most important books because she does such a good job pointing out some of the things that we should consider and those 6 principles that should guide us in our communication. Kim is an amazing speaker, and I was so lucky to get to hear her talk, but I want to show you guys some of those key principles. She talks about consideration, motivation, appreciation, validation, conversation, and celebration. And I could go on and give you a million ways that she highlights these with stories and anecdotes that she gives. But this book is one that you need to run out and get immediately. And I can't imagine a single solitary person that would not benefit from this book. And it really has helped me as a teacher in how I communicate with parents as they come into a parent-teacher conference, especially those ones that might be difficult and challenging. And just thinking about these principles has changed me as a teacher. So if you want to hear more about this book specifically, she has a podcast episode out with me this weekend, and you can go to the description and find that podcast link and listen to Kim sharing all about her 6 principles in this book. And I'm telling you, it is absolutely incredible. So go grab a copy of Talk to Me by Kim Bearden. You will not be disappointed. My second author and amazing book is Ron Clark and the End of Molasses Classes. Y'all know Ron. He is also a co-founder of the Ron Clark Academy, and I was lucky enough to meet him and hear him speak last year. And I told him when I met him that this book literally got me through my hardest year of teaching that I ever have had. And I thanked him because these words of wisdom and motivation and inspiration really propelled me through that challenging year. So if you're having a rough year, or if you're just looking to get inspiration, great ideas, this has so many tips. I have incorporated many of these into my classrooms, and it talks about everything from home visits to how you should operate as a teacher, how to set the bar high and have high expectations, how to reach out to your community, and how to also be sure that you're following up and thanking those community members that are contributing to your classrooms. And I have used so many of his ideas from this book, and most importantly, I feel like I read it at a time when I needed it the most. And so I've read all of his books, and I would recommend every single one of them. But the timing of when I read this book is why it's so meaningful to me. And y'all know that when you have a challenging year, you've got to reach out, and find inspiration. And whether that's working out or reading or going to church or whatever it may be for you, this book did it for me. and I highly, highly recommend it. As I was looking through some of the pages that I bookmarked, which are a lot, which is a good sign, I want to go back and reread it because it's been a couple of years, and I think that this is one that is never going to go out of style, and there's always great ideas that you can bring into your classroom. The third book and authors that I want to talk about are really special and near and dear to my heart. Hope and Wade King are teachers who taught at the Ron Clark Academy. I was lucky enough to see them in their classrooms, which to me is the coolest thing, because I saw them doing this, being the wild card, and having their creativity on display. And this book is so incredible because they talk about in this book how to have your creative breakthrough and how that looks different for every single person. And that's what I love about this book, because oftentimes when people see classroom transformations and the amazing things that Hope does, they think that's what they mean by creativity. Or they may see Wade and his incredible music and the things that he's doing. But what they share about in this book is that it is different for every single person. And just as Hope and Wade are different and have their own strengths, this book is all about how you can find yours. And there are so many great tools, steps that you can take. So it is not almost a professional learning step-by-step guide to really get you to think outside of the box, to be creative, and to tap into your passions and what makes you unique in your classroom. This book is so good. It has inspired me. I am currently getting ready for Rock Your School, which, if you don't know what Rock Your School is, they are hosting Get Your Teach On, which is Hope and Wade and Deanna Jump's conference. They are hosting a day that's all about engagement and thinking outside of the box and what that looks like for you. So if you would like more information about that, I've linked it down here in the description. I'm going to be participating, and I cannot wait, because last year my students had such a blast. I did something brand new, and they literally talked about it all the way till the end of the school year, and it was one of the best days of all. So the wild card will definitely get your creative juices flowing, and I highly, highly recommend Hope and Wade King's book. The fourth book that I recommend is I Wish My Teacher Knew by Kyle Schwartz. This book I learned about on Instagram, and it is a book that has an activity, and you can see there are the post-it notes. And Kyle Schwartz is a teacher who did an activity asking students to share with them anything that they thought would help their teacher better understand who they are, what's going on outside of the classroom, what is affecting them, what's something we may not know, and did it in a way that was anonymous and private and safe and protected. And what Kyle Schwartz learned in the process was eye-opening and shifted the entire mindset as a teacher. So I tried this, I've read the book, and the activity is incredible. Each year for the past 2 years and forever, I will be doing this, which is asking my students if they would like to share something with me, to put it on an index card or a post-it note, and they can put their name on it if they would like for me to know who it's from, or they can do it anonymously. And the things that I've learned in the process, which I won't share here because they're private, have taught me so much that I may have never known. And it really helped me as a teacher understand what might be going on outside of the classroom that's affecting how they're acting in my classroom. And as a teacher, we always try to keep in mind that they have lives and circumstances that are impacting how they are at school. But you need to do this activity if you haven't already, because I'm not sure that I realized how much was going on outside of the classroom. And now you may ask yourself, can I handle what I might learn? And I always tell people, if they can live it, we can know about it. And so I think it's super important for us to have a little bit of understanding about what's going on, and this book and activity is such an incredible way to build relationships, but also to build trust and to let them know that we truly, truly care about them, and give them that space to open up and share something that might be too sensitive for them to share to you face to face. So, I Wish My Teacher Knew by Kyle Schwartz is one of the most meaningful things that I've brought into my classroom ever. I highly recommend it. Thanks for tuning into my channel. I had such a blast sharing with y'all my favorite books that have inspired me, but I want to know what teacher books I need to read, so comment below and let me know what you want to see next. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and share with other people and let them know that this channel is out there. And until next time, I'll see y'all in the classroom.